Hey everybody, and welcome to another segment of AstrologyAnswers.com's weekly forecast. My name is Terence. The week begins on Monday, November the 27th, 2023. And on Monday, there will be a full moon in Gemini. A full moon happens once a month. It brings a lot of things that's been hidden out into the open. In general, it often tests relationships. It can be a time of a lot of emotional reactions, especially in Gemini, which can be all this kind of mental stimulating energies, walking, talking, and chewing gum at the same time, as they say. However, Mercury, the planet of communications, the planet that rules Gemini, or associated with Gemini, will be squaring or in a challenging aspect to Neptune. Diffusive, confusing Neptune, also during the full moon on Monday. This cycle can give often a lot of foggy thinking, brain fog, or misunderstandings, or what you're being told may not be completely clear or honest. So you got to just be careful with the full moon triggering a lot of emotional reactiveness. But communication Mercury is hurt by nebulous Neptune, and you may not be thinking clearly. You may not have all the correct information. So you want to perhaps on Monday sleep on it and don't make any important decisions until the next day or so. On Tuesday, the 28th, the moon, continuing in Gemini, will be in harmony with pleasure-seeking, cooperative Venus, creative Venus. This is very harmonious social energy. It is happening from late morning, about 10 a.m. to 12 noon Pacific time. By early afternoon, 1-2 p.m. Pacific time, now the moon will be in a challenging aspect to Neptune. Now, this will only be occurring for an hour or two, but emotionally, the moon, with Neptune, you may be unfocused, unclear. Then the moon goes void of course, which I talk about every week. When it's not a good time to be making important decisions, it's best to stick with the routine. And it's a good time for reflection and resting. The moon will be void of course in the sign of Gemini from 5:03 p.m. Pacific time until 10:54 p.m. Pacific time, at which point the moon leaves the void of course period and enters into the sign of nurturing emotional Cancer. On Wednesday, the moon in nurturing Cancer will be in harmony with expansive, prosperous Jupiter around noon to 1 or later 2 p.m., like noon to 1:30 p.m. Pacific time. All things Jupiter, optimism, traveling, promotion, education, you'll be feeling, because the moon is the emotional reaction overall of the public, you'll be feeling more optimistic about all these areas that Jupiter represent. On Thursday, as the moon continues in nurturing emotional Cancer, it will be in harmony with a progressive Uranus, about early afternoon Pacific time. Uranus brings in all this original thinking, triggering a lot of the desire for personal freedoms. Now, having the emotional moon in harmony with Uranus early afternoon, it's a good couple of hours where there could be some emotional excitement. But it's also really favorable for getting out of any rut, any limiting habit, and shake things up and move, free up any old habit attachments. On Friday, December the 1st. The moon will be void of course in Cancer from 5:07 a.m., just 3 hours till 8:01 a.m., at which point, Pacific time, at which point the moon will go into extroverted, outgoing, playful Leo. Cancer tends to be more of a homebody, want to just stay with family, stay at home. By early evening, Pacific time, that outgoing, extroverted Leo moon will be in harmony with adventurous, assertive, dynamic Mars. So it really starts off the Friday evening with there's more of this incentive to attend parties as we're going into the holiday season, or just get out and about and enjoy the public activities. On Saturday, the moon continues in romantic, playful Leo, but now we have communication discerning Mercury in harmony with pragmatic, conservative Saturn. Mercury-Saturn in harmony is very favorable for business. It's very favorable for feeling grounded, feeling practical. It is good for all business negotiations. It's good for any type of studying, which is the Mercury, because Mercury is all about information and communication, in harmony with Saturn, giving you the discipline to focus your mind for writing, for studying. On Sunday, December the 3rd, the moon continues in extroverted Leo. It will go void, of course, later in the day. But first, pleasure-seeking Venus, creative, romantic Venus, will be in tension with compulsive Pluto. Now, that could indicate some relational power struggles or secrets being revealed. That's more on the downside. On the more optimistic side, that Venus-Pluto could trigger some really passionate, deep desires, wanting more intimacy in a relationship. Then the moon in Leo goes void, of course, for a short time, 6:12 p.m. Pacific time to 7:51 p.m. Pacific time, at which point the moon enters into Virgo for those next 2.5 days. Virgo is very work-oriented, service-oriented, it's practical and sensible, it's more grounded. After a really outgoing, playful weekend with the moon in Leo. I want to thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you next week with my next segment. Until then, be safe and well.